My main goal here is to bring him back to America.
Thank you, Michael.
I think a lot of people here will be very happy if you do.
He's welcome to go. Now, you have transposed, because you, of course, made Fahrenheit 9/11, you've transposed to 11/9. This is all about Trump now.
Yes, on 11/9, 2016, that's when he was declared president.
Yeah,
yes.
I remember that moment so well. We were on air.
We were on a rooftop
time.
in the middle of Manhattan. And suddenly, it was very interesting. I remember having dinner with my son in the middle of Manhattan about 9 o'clock, and there was a television behind my head, and my son could see it, and he suddenly went, "Dad, all that blues started to go red." And we turned, and it was like this tidal wave sweeping across America.
Right.
You predicted, absolutely predicted, not only that Trump would win, but actually how he'd win, how he would win Middle America, and how New York and LA, full of the kind of self-righteous liberal community, would not see this coming. And that's exactly what happened.
I couldn't get anybody to listen to me. I think they just thought I was kidding. Oh, who was going to vote for him? I said, everybody between New York and LA is going to come out, and they're angry. The thing was, I was just explaining to you in the break here, I was here the week before Brexit, before the vote.
It's the same phenomenon.
I saw the same people who had been hurt by the system in the United States wanting to throw a Molotov cocktail into the very system that had made their lives more difficult. And I saw the same thing here, traveling throughout the UK in that week. And I thought, wow, Brexit's going to win. But that wasn't what the polls were saying. Nope. And we went back home and said, this is what's going to happen with us. What happened with Brexit is going to happen here, and Trump is going to win. And everybody better wise up very quick.
Because we were just talking about the fact that I remember the night that we came in to report the Brexit result, the newspapers had prepared their front pages, and they were all about, now that Remain has won, we need to stitch the country back together. Right. They were completely blindsided, and you said it was the same with the American papers.
The New York Times, on the day of the election, the New York Times had a headline that said that Trump has only a 15% chance of winning today. Unfortunately, a lot of the media is in their own bubble, and they're not in touch with how people are really feeling. But the thing I think you have to understand, what I think about as an outsider about Brexit, is that people were voting for Brexit because it was their only chance to say, I've had it.
Yes.
If the question on the ballot had been, instead of should we get out of the European Union, let's would you support eliminating the Labour and Conservative parties of the UK?
Yeah.
I think that would have won.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because
it's
anti-establishment. We're sick of what you're telling us, and look what's happening in our lives.
But now that we've had 2 years of Trump, and you've had this 2 years of post-Brexit, and your cabinet, I was watching, is having pizza to try and figure out what to do. Yeah. Not actually good food to make a huge decision on, by the way. But if I could just speak to the British people for a second, and which camera do I look into?
Which camera are you on? One.
You can't leave Europe because you are Europe. There is no Europe without you. You saved Europe twice, and you sacrificed hundreds of thousands of lives. There'd be no Europe without you.
But we're not actually leaving Europe. We're leaving the European Union.
Yeah, well,
we remain Europeans. I mean, there is a distinction.
No, you don't get to. No, you can't have it both ways.
One to many people, Michael, is an antiquated, very bureaucratic, inefficient, wasteful political organisation.
Yes.
And it's that we're leaving.
Stop making it so bureaucratic and wasteful and corrupt or whatever
we tried that.
You don't
we
like
weren't
about
getting
it.
Anywhere.
Yes, but you don't understand that Russia and the United States is so happy that to think that the European Union could collapse, everybody is like, yes, because you are only strong when you're together. And I can't, for the life of me, understand why you would do this.
Well, we would still be part of NATO, right? We would still be part of a military force if we had to be part of that. I mean, we're not actually ceding a partnership with Europeans.
You take the first step. You don't know what the slippery slope is that you're creating. You know, this sort of nationalism that's rising all over Europe. It's not good.
Trump is. We've got the midterm elections coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
And he'll probably get a bit of a bloody nose. But actually, I saw an approval rating on Gallup last night saying in 1 month he's moved up 6%, and to a pretty healthy sort of mid-40s range. But the leap was quite marked in a month when he's had the Kavanaugh Supreme Court appointment and so on. Yeah. And that was a win for Trump, regardless of the furore. He's now put 2 guys on the Supreme Court in 18 months. To many people, I've been travelling a lot in Middle America in the last year, to Florida, to Alabama, to Texas, doing crime documentaries. They love Trump down there. They think he's doing a fantastic job. I would put good money on Trump getting re-elected.
And so would
what
you,
I'm not
wouldn't you?
seeing, Michael, other than general hysteria from the Liberals, driven by liberal celebrities, I'm not seeing a strategy for how to beat Trump.
There isn't a strategy. First of all, they won't acknowledge that the man is a genius, an evil genius, but he knows what he's doing. He knows how to do that performance art where it looks like he's just what we call a doofus, but he's not. And he pulled this off. He outsmarted maybe the smartest candidate ever to run for president of the United States. And he continues to outsmart the left and the liberals in the Democratic Party. And unless they start to respect the fact that he is going to be in office for 2 terms, they will not prevent that second term.
I agree. I totally agree.
What he's out there doing right now is he's running for re-election right now. Not in 2020.
He's doing rallies every week.
He's treating November 6, 2018 as his re-election campaign.
He's doing rallies every single week to 20, 30,000
he's doing them
people.
practically every day now.
Michael, what is the way that the Democrats can stop him in his tracks? Who is that person? Who out-Trumps Trump?
Well, the Democrats need to run a beloved American.
Yes.
Somebody that people would want to vote for.
Oprah.
Well, I've said that for years, that Oprah should run.
And she said no.
Yes, I've asked Tom Hanks twice to run.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like Tom Hanks? Nobody, right? Tom Hanks would
What
win.
does he say when you ring him and say, please, save the country?
Stop asking me. I said, you're the only one that can save us. Maybe Michelle Obama. Everyone loves Michelle Obama.
She doesn't want to do either.
know?
She said no. They know how toxic it would be. And they also know if you run for president these days, you get trashed.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to have...
Right.
Actually, the thing that Trump has, he has an incredibly thin skin, I will say to people.
They've tried
he
to
reacts to
trash
everything.
him.
But he also has the skin of 1,000 rhinoceroses when it comes to actually soaking up the crap that comes with being an American presidential candidate.
You can accuse him of sexual assault, and he still comes up smelling of roses.
Listen, you have to understand about Trump. He's always lying, and he's always telling the truth.
Yeah.
When he says, I could shoot someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue and get away with it,
He's right.
He's right.
Yeah.
He's telling you the truth. And, I mean, well, you know him. Aren't you friends? Or,
I don't agree with most of his politics.
Right.
But I wrote a column the day he first ran, and everyone was mocking him. I said, do not underestimate this guy. He's a brilliant marketer. Right? He's playing the billionaire Pied Piper.
Right.
And I've been down in Middle America. I know how angry they are. And he's just the kind of guy that can tap into their fears.
Piers, when they let you back into the UK after you had your show in the US, you were perhaps the most outspoken advocate for gun control.
Right.
Yeah.
And to stop the madness that takes place on almost a weekly basis.
And Trump won't do enough to stop it.
No, he wants to arm teachers in schools.
I know.
I mean, if you have his ear, I mean, I've
told him many times. Funny enough, in a strange way, apparently he says he's about to ban bump fire stock after the Vegas thing. If he was to achieve even that was more than Obama got through. Yeah. Actually, I mean, there's a weird kind of system in America, isn't there, where oddly Trump might be the one who can bring some form of.
Except he doesn't believe in anything. He doesn't really. He has no. Well, I'm sorry, that's a mistake. He believes in Donald J. Trump.
He does.
He has a huge belief system in himself, but he doesn't have any politics or anything. He'll blow. When I first met him, it was 1990 in New York City. It was at a benefit to raise money for Planned Parenthood for women's reproductive rights. Oh. That's where I first saw Donald Trump.
Trump's
so he blows with the wind, whatever way he thinks.
He does not have an ideological bone in his body. Not one. But what he is good at doing is campaigning and beating people up in political terms.
And the Democrats are
They've got to find someone that can do it. Michael, we've got to leave it there.
We're going to leave it right there.
It's a fantastic film.
But don't forget to vote for Piers. Get him on the short list.
You're going to be honoured at this year's Critics' Choice Documentary Awards next month. There's another brilliant film. Just go and watch it. If you ever want to see how American politics really works, this guy does it better than anybody I know.
And if you want to see a movie that actually, even though it's about the United States, is so about you and what you're going through right now in this country, it's this film.